Hello and welcome to another episode of Nightcap with Nightcat, the kitsch-minded show where we talk about toys, boys, and life's other joys, including animals, which is apparently what we're doing now. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a video of that snapping turtle that I showed last week on Nightcap with Nightcat. That guy bit himself during the video. I put the bite part up on TikTok. It has 6 million views. So as far as y'all are concerned, this is now also an animal channel, which is where I would like to start tonight's show. Let's get into it. Wild Wednesday! He's hiding in this little box. Hello, gorgeous. I want you to say hi to my friend Candycorn. Oh, he's so cute. Candycorn is a Kenyan Sand Boa. They get the name Sand Boa because they spend almost all of their time buried under the sand. These guys have a little fish tank full of sand and they'll burrow underneath it and you only see their goofy little snoots poking up above the sand. So if you were to go to Kenya, it's pretty unlikely that you would see these guys even though they're from there. They are buried for most of their lives. You'll almost never see them because one, it's nice and cool down in the sand away from the African sun, which can get pretty spicy. And two, their food lives underground. They like to go after little rodents, which burrow down under the ground, and they're pretty good at tracking them down. You keep seeing him stick out his goofy little tongue like that. He is smelling. They smell with their tongues, which is kind of weird, right? I smell with my nose. I'm like, ugh. But if I was a snake or a lizard or something, I'd go, blah, 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 ugh. That's because they can smell with their tongue. So he will go around, even though it's dark under there, he probably wouldn't be able to see a mouse or a rat or anything. He's able to sniff them out with that tongue. He goes into their burrow and he's able to gobble them up. Now he is a boa. You might be familiar with some boas like the boa constrictor or the green anaconda, all boas. Everyone wonders if it's size. Are boas bigger or smaller than pythons maybe? Well, the biggest snake in the entire world is a boa. That's the green anaconda. And then you have this little noodle, which spends all of its time hiding from everyone and is about 2 feet long. So you can't really tell based on size. Lots of teeny tiny pythons and boas and lots of enormous pythons and boas. The main difference between pythons and boas is eggs. Pythons lay eggs. Boas have live babies. Isn't that crazy? So they will keep their eggs in their babies will develop inside of an egg, but they keep their eggs inside of their body until they hatch and then the babies all slither out and then they're just sort of on their own. Snakes figure out what to do day one. As soon as they're born, they're like, I gotta find something to eat and I've gotta hide from predators. And that's pretty much how they live the rest of their lives, except for these guys, which are just big lumpy noodles over at Scales and Tails. Now, I do want to address that. I got a lot of questions about the snapping turtle last week in the comment section, which thank you for commenting a ton. But I got a lot of questions about why I have reptiles, it's particularly dangerous ones like snapping turtles. I would never recommend a regular old Joe go out and get a snapping turtle. They are very, very difficult, aggressive animals to care for, and they can be very dangerous. I don't keep snapping turtles in my house. I work for a company called Scales and Tails. We're a professional reptile exhibitor. And so these guys live in a professional facility where they are well cared for, and then I get to check them out, almost like it's a snake library. And I was like, I'll take that one for a video today, please. Oh, I love this guy. He's so cute. When I first started, he was an itty bitty little baby. I used to have a joke about him being like the best mustache because he's like the perfect size. He's too big now. Now he's like entirely too long for a mustache. I gotta figure out a new joke for you, bud. All right. That is Candycorn, the Kenyan Sand Boa. We're gonna put him away. Everyone say bye, Candycorn. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. All right. That's his voice, I guess. I'm assigning them all voices. Into the box with you, my love. All right. Nice and safe. Now, a lot of people wonder if this is appropriate for them to put them in these little boxes. Snakes are actually afraid of big open spaces. They're the opposite of claustrophobic. They like tight, dark, confined spaces because they feel safe. If you were just a long noodle out in the open where everyone wants to gobble you up, you might be a little afraid too. So this is actually the safest way to transport them when we're taking them from shows or anything back to the shop or vice versa. put them in these little boxes that's just big enough for them to move around in a little bit, but not anything that they're going to be able to escape out of. There are air holes drilled into the side. A lot of people are concerned about that. There's no air holes on top. That's because stuff would drip through and into the box. It's better to have the air holes over on the side. Plus, if you stack something on top of it, suddenly, boom, where are your air holes? Always on the side here. Plenty of oxygen, don't worry. All right, we're gonna put Candycorn down, and that means it's time for us to get into the stupid news. Let's get into the litter box. Ew, what stinks in here? The litter box is the part of the show where I go through the stupid news, I get you all caught up on what's going on. That way you don't have to sift through it yourself. It's a hard job reading every stupid thing that's ever happened. But someone's got to do it. And let's get started over in India, where a man was participating in an illegal cockfight, which nothing boils my blood like making animals fight. It is so infuriating. And listen, I get it. Animals fight in the wild all the time. But you intentionally putting them in a position where they're stressed and they're going after each other and fighting to the death so you can win a couple shekels, you're a dick. This guy thought it would be a good idea to attach a 3-inch blade to the chicken's leg. That way, the chicken was extra stabby and he might win a little extra scratch. Ooh, this guy. He ended up getting stabbed by that chicken. According to the New York Post, the guy attaches the blade, is getting ready for the fight, and I guess right before it happens, the chicken gets scared and starts flailing, stabs the guy in the groin, hits a major artery, and he bleeds so bad, he dies on the way to the hospital. He doesn't even make it all the way to the hospital. All because he decided to make his own janky-ass off-brand Pokemon. Police are now looking for over a dozen other people who were involved in the incident and warning that if they find them, they could be facing 2 years in prison. In case you're wondering, the rooster survived everything, and they have him in custody. They're keeping him in case they need to use him for evidence later. So, in fact, here's exactly what they said. We may need to produce it before court. So they're just gonna keep the chicken alive. Good for him. I hope they take great care of that chicken. He was just defending himself. The body of a 39-year-old man who had been reported missing in Spain was finally found inside a papier-mâché stegosaurus. So here's what happened. The guy goes missing. Everyone's looking for him. A passerby notices legs sticking out of the dinosaur and a horribly foul odor. They crack open the dinosaur. They find the guy inside. Now, they think what ended up happening is he dropped his phone inside the dinosaur statue and then went in after it, couldn't get back out once he was in there, and couldn't ask anybody for help. So he just died in the belly of this dinosaur. Technically, he was eaten by dinosaurs, which is what I hope they put on his death certificate, because that sucks, man. At least, give him a little something. That's just so sad. I feel bad for this guy. The statue was a prop used by a local movie theater, which had been there for years. In fact, it has been there for so long. The movie theater has since shut down, but they kept the dinosaur around. Sadly, they have removed the dinosaur statue, which the dinosaur didn't do nothing wrong. That's messed up, man. Leave the dinosaur up there. Just make sure that nobody can crawl inside and try to Ace Ventura himself out. All right, let's make sure we have a clear exit strategy if anyone falls in the dinosaur. But nope, they got rid of him. And finally, the score of a lifetime. Somebody at a Canadian thrift store tracked down this painting, and they paid $4.09 for it. Quite frankly, between me and you, not a gorgeous painting. I probably wouldn't have spent $4 on it. But they're lucky they did, because an auction house has recently authenticated it as a David Bowie original. They said it's part of a series that he painted between 1994 and 1997. Quote, the sitters, the models, ranged from band members, friends, and acquaintances. There were also some self-portraits. This energetic portrait is truly a rare representation from a celebrated artist. Now here's the thing, they paid $4.09 at the Canadian thrift store for this. It's expected to be sold as part of the Cowley Abbott International Art Online Auction for anywhere between $9,000 and $12,000. Could you imagine paying $4 for something that could be worth 12,000. Though quite frankly, if it's a David Bowie original, it might just have to stay in the collection. I'm not out any money. It's not like I lost $12,000. And I'm sure to the right collector, that is always going to be something very valuable. Girl, hang on to it. It's only going up. And that is the litter box. Now, I ended on a thrift store story because we're doing a very special sunken treasure. Not something we've ever done before. I'm taking you thrift shopping with me. It's time for Sunken Treasure! On the road, I am going to take you thrift shopping with me. You know, I am a master level thrift store ninja, how much I love thrift shopping. And a lot of people ask me where I like to go, so I'm going to show you a couple of my places today. Let's do it. We're going to get started with Deseret Industries on 21st South in Salt Lake, skipping past the clothes, because there's never anything for big dudes, and I find myself a VHS of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's in good condition, so I'm going to take it. Next stop is books. I like to track down the old Goosebumps. So I did find a couple of Goosebumps books, but they are not the ones that go along with my collection. My collection have these little apples up on the top. So I'm going to leave those behind for someone else who's going to appreciate them a little bit more. But hey, did you know that John Lithgow writes children's books? Look how cute he is. That's the Trinity Killer from Dexter. Alright, the collectible cases. Just because something's labeled as a collectible doesn't mean that it's worth anything. These things are traps. Never forget that thrift stores price things for what they think you'll buy them for, not for what they're worth, though that Lucy game is pretty cool. Things to avoid in a thrift store. These middle aisles full of junk. These are just old lady tchotchkes. Don't waste your time there. Head on over instead to the board game section. I love board games. I would have gotten that mystery date, but I already have it. And I would have picked up this Harry Potter trivia game, but I already have it. Hey, I know her, that's Sophia Carson! I met her one time doing volunteer work at the Ronald McDonald House, she's the best. So I didn't find much, just the Rocky Horror Picture VHS listed for $2, but they only charged me 50 cents. Then we're gonna drive past this place because it's always disappointing on our way to the Goodwill in Murray. I'm gonna check out the book section here first. They usually have some good stuff. Didn't find any Goosebumps. Look how sparse this toy aisle is. There is just nothing here. But if you want a season of Seventh Heaven on DVD, I got your back. Okay, I said no old lady tchotchkes. But look at this lizard in a vest! Lizard in a vest, I want him so bad. But I have absolutely no room for him in my hoarded out house, so I gotta leave him behind. Bye, lizard in a vest. I love this girl. Look at her. She is watching this ship go down in the middle of a storm, and she is not bothered about it at all. She's doing nothing. I think she had something to do with it. She's just like, oh, someone on there cheated on me. Thoughts and prayers. Bye. I wasn't finding much at the Goodwill, and then my spidey senses went off when I found this pet Bjorn. I've been looking for a pet carrier for my giant cat for a while. So I took a picture, I sent it to my roommate asking her if she thinks that my cat would fit in it, and then pretty much simultaneously we decided that it's at least worth the $6 to try. Up next is Savers in West Valley, and right off the bat I find a Star Wars VHS. Unfortunately it's damaged, you can't even tell what the VHS is, so I have to put it back. Same thing with the Harry Potter VHS. I did find, though, some Hardy Boys books, which my friend Liz collects. So I'm going to ask her real quick if she wants any of them. She does. She wants the whale tattoo. Put the other one back for someone else. Let's just take a minute to appreciate how organized this toy section is. I've never seen it so clean and organized before. All right, this is our final stop, a hidden gem because every other business in the park is closed except for this place. This is Utah Thrift, right on the border of Kearns. And there is a lot to go through, but immediately something catches my eye. This giant Pokeball piggy bank. It's only $4.50, so I'm gonna take it and think about it. Also track down a Home Alone 2 with Moira Rose. And then the Holy Grail. Remember how they made wax animals at the zoo? I'm gonna go ahead and put the Pokeball back just because I want the wax animals. That's my Holy Grail. I feel good about my thrifting today. If you're wondering why I am so excited about these wax animals, it's because back in my day, and I'm 100, remember, The Hogle Zoo had a vending machine that made these wax animal souvenirs. They're just little figures made out of wax, and they would print them on demand for you. I can still smell the machine. I'm sure those fumes are toxic, because you know how everything was back in the 90s. But they're just the coolest. They say Hogle Zoo on the front, Salt Lake City on the back, and the reason I'm so excited for these is because they took that machine out ages ago. If you don't remember, it used to be in the hippo enclosure, and from what I know, people kept throwing these wax animals in with the hippos, and they were eating them, which, you know, is not good, so they yanked the machines. Now, I called the zoo today to ask when they got rid of the wax animal vending machines. And they couldn't tell me initially. They asked around. They found out that it was anywhere from 30 to 35 years ago since they got rid of these machines. I know that's not true because I definitely got some of these in the 90s/early 2000s. But it's probably 20 or more years since you've been able to purchase one of these, which makes them one of the most unique things I've ever found at the thrift store. Valuable? Very much to me, probably not to anybody else. But now I have them! Ah! They're just so cool. Anyway, that's thrift shopping. Don't worry, we'll test this. But first, I want to take a second to ask you to join my Patreon. Patreon.com/NIGHTCAT Show. This is how I keep NIGHTCAT going. This is an expensive show to run. It takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, and I'm only able to do it, well, I am able to do it partly because I am only part-time employed right now. But I'm also able to do it because my friends at Patreon take such great care of me. If you can donate either $3 or $5, it would be so appreciated to keep the NIGHTCAT brand running. Patreon.com/NIGHTCAT Show. And hey, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, don't forget, we've got more NIGHTCAT True Crime. Nope, this way. We've got more NIGHTCAT True Crime walking tours coming up this weekend. Another one's tomorrow night, actually. I'm having a flash sale. If you click the link tree in the description of this video now through June 19th, which is this Saturday, if you order your tickets for any date through Saturday, you're getting them half off. They're only $15. If you've been waiting to go on the NIGHTCAT True Crime Walking Tour, now is the best time to do it. They're so cheap. Check out the link tree in the description of this video. linktr.ee/JacksonWitt. Click that first button for 50% off. You have to use that link, otherwise the discount won't apply. And I'll see you out there. It's going to be so fun. All right, I think it's time for us then to get into another NIGHTCAT Classic Tale. NIGHTCAT Classic Tales is the part of the show where I relive a past traumatic experience. Now, this was not traumatic for me, but for the gal who had her tacos stolen, it sure was. Now, I've told you a lot about my time working at the movie theater. I worked at a movie theater for years and years. I was an assistant manager for a while, and I have told you some wacko stories from the time that a guy lived in the screens behind the theater to the time where I accidentally hit a panic button and police drew their weapons on me, to the time where a live bat got into the theater and we had to usher it out. But this might be, it's so hard to choose, but this actually might be my favorite story from working at the movie theater. I had a very good friend who I'm not going to name. What should I call her? Danny. Danny was on her way to the movie theater. She stopped at Del Taco, which, again, I'm 100. Back in my day, I used to be able to get 3 tacos for 99 cents. Those tacos are 33 cents a piece. She wolfs down 2 in the car. She leaves 1 on the counter while she's opening up the stand that she's gonna finish once we're open, right? Well, she turns around and her taco has just vanished. The taco is nowhere to be seen. And she's talking about it all day long. And we're like, Danny, there's no way that the taco just vanished. You have to have eaten it and you forgot about it. And she goes, no, there's no way. I'm telling you, it disappeared. So finally, me and a couple of the other managers and the other staff members went upstairs to the security footage. And we watched the taco. We see Danny put it down on the counter. The manager on duty that day walks past Danny. Danny's back is turned to her, and it happens so quickly you almost can't see it on the security footage. She reaches out, grabs the taco, walks into the back room, and I'm on the floor screaming because I cannot believe not only that another person stole a 33-cent taco, but that a manager stole a 33-cent taco. Because worst case scenario, bud, you just send one of your staff members to go pick it up for you. We used to do it all the time. Nope, I can't tell you how quickly she must have eaten that stolen taco too. Because she walked into the back room where there are no cameras, and 30 seconds later, she is out the back door. Her mouth seems to be full, but she doesn't have a taco in her hand. She got rid of the evidence and ate almost that entire thing in under a minute. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I guess the lesson of the story is here: don't steal your coworkers' food, because even if it is a 33-cent taco, sometimes they're opening concession stand, and that's the only reason they got out of bed in the morning. And if some of your food goes missing in the break room, it was never an accident. You were never mistaken. Someone took it, sister. That is Nightcat Classic Tales. I think it's time to tuck you little night kittens into bed with some warm milk. Warm milk is normally where I have a good news story for you, but I thought you'd like to see, for warm milk, whether or not Freddy fits in his little Bjorn. And he does. He hates it though. Look at him. He's acting like a dead animal. He's so defeated. And he's ready for Hot Girl Summer. We're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go to the beach, and you are gonna get us some hot boys. But you have to start having. You can't look at him. He looks dead. Look. It's not on you anymore. It's not on you. Everything's fine. Okay. Yep. And he's not going to talk to me for 3 days. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him to use it a lot, but we'll see what we could do on warm milk. And that is another episode of Nightcap with Nightcat. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, we've got so many new viewers. Hi, new subscribers. Hi. They all came over from TikTok. Also, somebody shared our video, our turtle clip, on the Daily Dose of Internet channel. So thank you for everybody who came over here from Daily Dose. You're the best. Welcome. We're so excited to have you. Hey, couple of things. Nightcat True Crime Walking Tours. Find out more information at nightcatshow.com, or get your 50% off flash sale tickets. You can only get those through Saturday. They're good for any date, but you have to buy before Saturday if you want that 50% off. That's at the Linktree, linktr.ee/JacksonWitt. We put the audio from this show on the Nightcat Radio podcast. Find it wherever you get your podcasts. Also, every Friday we drop a true crime episode called Curiosity Killed Nightcat. That's all available at the Nightcat Radio podcast. Thank you so much for being so wonderful. Follow me. My name is Jackson Witt on pretty much everything. You can also follow the show Nightcat Show on pretty much everything. All of it is at nightcatshow.com under the Contact Us link. You'll find the links to all of the social media you want to track down. All right, I gotta go check on my cat because he seems pretty upset. Until next week, bye! I'm sweating because getting him in and out of that thing was impossible.